What's up guys, this is Kephas, coming to you from Ashran. I figured I'd record some Ashran play while I talked about it a little bit, so, enjoy watching me play Ashran really poorly. Probably not the best time because it looks like Ashran is pretty empty. My question for all of you in this video is Ashran a failure? Let me say that I do not like Ashran. And I think that it is a failure. As a matter of fact, I think that Ashran might be the biggest failure in World of Warcraft history. And I can't think of anything else that they have screwed up this much. It seems like they had some pretty good goals. They wanted to bring back some world PvP feel, and they kind of wanted to bring back that old Alterac Valley feel, from way back in the day, the legendary days of, having these long battles in Alterac Valley, doing all these cool things there. The problem is that when you design a battleground around another battleground, you're going to kind of get the same results. If you think that designing this place after Alterac Valley is a good idea, then why not go and see what people are doing in Alterac Valley now? Because they actually did a really good job of designing Ashran around Alterac Valley, because you get the exact same gameplay as you do in Alterac Valley, which is ignore all the side objectives and Zerg rush to the end. So in that regard, they were very successful. They modeled this after Alterac Valley, and they're getting the exact same results that they get in Alterac Valley, which is Zerg rush. Basically, Ashran is a giant ball of death from one faction sweeping across the road to the other faction's fort and killing the final guy. Because, let's be honest here, faction balance is non-existent. Now Blizzard is actively trying to fix this, and they have some changes coming in 6.1 that is supposed to address the faction imbalance issue. The problem though is that this has been an issue that's been brought up to them since beta, and Blizzard has constantly reassured us that faction imbalance wouldn't be a problem, and it's been a problem since day one, and it's still a problem 2 months later. But if cross-realm zones are their answer, that's just silly. Because if you're thinking, we'll dynamically cross servers based on server population, well, there's a problem with that, because server population has nothing to do with Ashran population at any given time. So there's a good chance that faction imbalance is always going to be an issue no matter what you do with cross-realm zones. That's the problem. How can you not see that that's the problem? But that's not the only issue, because of how the zone has been designed. Like I said, if you design it around AV, you're going to get AV gameplay. AV has digressed into a giant Zerg fest. How do you win AV? You Zerg rush and you beat the other faction to the end. That's not how it's intended, but that's how it's played. Well, they didn't intend for Ashran to be a Zerg fest, but guess what? That's exactly what Ashran is. So it's kind of devolved into this, either you're the giant ball of death, completely overpowering the other faction, which isn't any fun unless you like easy wins, or you're the other faction getting completely overpowered by the giant ball of death. There are some pretty cool things that you can do off the beaten path. The side objectives that help your team out, those are all great. The rares throughout the zone that drop like these cool items or these temporary upgrades to your class, those are great gameplay mechanics. But they're kind of rendered pointless by the way Ashran is kind of overall designed. Like I said, it's like a recreation of AV 2.0, and it's exactly what AV is now, a Zerg rush. So that's kind of what it is. And a lot of those cool side things that you can do are rendered relatively pointless. Now Blizzard, in a roundabout way, has pretty much admitted that Ashran is a screw-up by saying that Ashran didn't turn out like they expected. But another big problem is with the Gladiator Sanctum, which is a cool garrison building that I actually kind of like, because it involves you collecting bones from players that you've killed to turn in to get like gold and gear and honor and sometimes even conquest points from work orders. Great idea. And then you have these Nemesis quests, which involve you killing like 500 of each of the other races on the opposite faction. That's pretty cool. And turning those in, you get cool titles and achievements, and if you do them all, you get the greatest title, which is Warlord of Draenor. That's pretty cool. But here's the problem. You can only collect bones and do the Nemesis quests in Draenor or Ashran. You can't do them in battlegrounds or arenas. Why? Why limit player choice? If you're on a PvE server, your only choice pretty much is Ashran. If you're on a PvP server, you'll notice that a lot of people have taken to ganking Lobies out in Draenor, because it's easier to get bones and farm the Nemesis quest that way than it is by going to Ashran. That's a problem. But it's an even bigger problem because sometimes Blizzard has this weird knack for forcing players to play their game the way they think that you should play it. And I'm not talking about cheating or gaming the system or whatever. I'm talking about Blizzard sometimes insists that you play their game this way. They want it done this way. And no other way that might be more fun to a lot of people is acceptable. Because no, we know what's best. We know what you think is going to be the most fun. So we insist that you do it this way. Who cares if you're going to have more fun doing it another way? Why can't we go to Battlegrounds? What if I don't want to run Ashran? What if I want to run Battlegrounds? Why can't I collect bones in Battlegrounds? Why? I don't even collect bones because Ashran is broken. So that whole, cool building that I want to do, it's pointless. It's silly. I can go there and collect bones if my side of the faction is dominating at the time. And then I can collect bones no problem. If there are enough alliance around to collect bones. And I get it, Blizzard was trying to bring back World PvP, and that's cool. But let me say something about World PvP for a second. Now this is just my experience, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but here we go. I have a leveling series on this channel, where I'm leveling up a warrior, Kephas, and I'm playing on Tychondris, which is the largest PvP server in the game. And it's actually cross-realm connected to Darkspear, which is the second largest PvP server in the game. So it's pretty well balanced in terms of Alliance and Horde, and I'm level 45 and I have not engaged in one round of World PvP. Most of the time, people are cowering away, they're waving, or they're running past me, ignoring me, or hoping that I don't attack them. That's your great World PvP on PvP servers, at least at low levels. Even high level characters who are just going by won't attack me. The only time I ever got attacked by somebody was when I was AFK. I came back at half health and this rogue was attacking me, and I came back and won. So go figure. It never happens. One time I was just kind of sitting out in the middle of a zone, and there were 5 alliance around me. Literally 5 alliance around me. I was practically begging them to gank me, and they wouldn't do it. So there's your World PvP. I guess at high level zones it might be a little bit different, but then again, if people are out doing things, they probably don't want to waste time. So it takes 1 or 2 guys who actually enjoy PvP to get the ball rolling, to tick enough people off to fight back, and it kind of turns into a little skirmish. That's really the only way you ever get World PvP in this game. So don't sit there and say that Blizzard ruined World PvP and they don't give you opportunities, because on PvP servers, I don't really see it happening very often anyways. So there's my rant about Ashran and PvP. I like Battlegrounds giving crates, I like the changes to gear, not having PvP stats. I like the idea of the Gladiator Sanctum and collecting bones and doing the Nemesis quests. I like the idea of what Ashran was supposed to be, but overall, I believe that it was a colossal failure. So what do you guys think of Ashran? Are you enjoying yourselves there, or do you think that it was a mess? Or am I wrong? Are there things that I am missing? I would love to hear your feedback. So if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button or the favorite button. If you agree with it, share it, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, let me know. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. This is Kephas. Until next time.